people in Venezuela, there have been some stories about this, are wondering if this is sort of like a predicate for regime change. And I don't know what it is, but I'm wondering, are you satisfied with this kind of explanation for the strikes, for this kind of offensive action in this region?
Freaking right I am. The cartel's been at war with us for years. 187,000 people died in the last 2 years from drug overdoses brought in by the cartels. I think it's time to put a Tomahawk cruise missile into a drug lab in Colombia. I'm fine with that. The reality is there are 55 times more people that died in the last 2 years on drug overdoses brought in by the narco traffickers who are less than a non-state actor like Al-Qaeda. And they are literally killing our people 55 times greater than what we saw on 9/11.
But don't you think the president should go to Congress and ask for a declaration of war against the cartels instead of doing it this way?
I don't, because he already has it. The War Powers Act gives him the authority.
What the cartels are?
Well, you can do that in your declaration of war.
We all know what they are.
Declaring war is not limited to declaring war against a nation state. There's nothing in the Constitution
I get that, but I mean, don't you have to actually really know who you're targeting?
There is nothing.
Well, I think the president does, but it would be better to have a declaration of war.
There is nothing against the president taking action against non-state actors who are already doing harm to the United States.
So listen, I agree with you. The drugs are a huge problem. Here's what the Times says, though, about Venezuela specifically. Venezuela is not a major producer of cocaine, but it serves as a transit hub for it. Venezuela plays virtually no role in the fentanyl trade. Fentanyl is almost entirely produced in Mexico. It's chemicals imported from China. That's according to the federal government. And Mexico is close to the U.S. market. So Mexican cartels already control many fentanyl smuggling routes, and there's no proof that it is manufacturing or trafficked from Venezuela or anywhere in South America. So the thing that is killing Americans, that's driving that epidemic that you're talking about, Venezuela's got a lot of problems, but that's not at the top of the list in terms of where the drugs are coming from.
No, but it's just a lot.
That complicates the argument.
The parallels are so, I don't know if we're going to see regime change or not. I don't think we are. Trump has said he doesn't want regime change. But the parallels to what we saw in the Panama invasion in, 1989, are so similar. You had a dictator who was also the facilitator of a drug trafficking operation, who was using the power of his own government to then harm the United States citizens. And Noriega and I'll be honest with you, Maduro look a lot alike. But the truth is, the cartels were at war with us long before we finally struck back at them. And it's long overdue.
If we keep defining war down, I'm with Betsy. Declare it. Define it, declare it, identify it. Do it the constitutional way. That's right. If you can get a lawyer to tell you that the sky is green and the grass is blue, okay? A lawyer can tell you that what's happening there is war under the non-international armed conflict laws, which were developed to handle Al-Qaeda, which originally were developed to handle civil wars, non-international. So they just keep defining this thing down, and you're empowering people you won't want to empower.
Yes, because what if the Russians decide to drop something over Jeff Bezos' yacht or Mark Zuckerberg's? They've got some pretty big vessels, right, in the Mediterranean.
Well, look, I mean, I can't speak to that, but listen, one of the strikes where they said that they got the cartel, the people who were smuggling drugs, the New York Times went down to Venezuela, talked to a woman who identified herself as the wife of one of the dead men. She said her husband was a fisherman with 4 children. He left for work one day and never came back. Again, listen, I'm just asking the question: do we have to know who these people are? Do we have to prove anything at all?
Wow.
You guys ever hear just how cavalier we are about talking about killing people?
Yeah.
Park a Tomahawk cruise missile, people die. They're gonna die. And so what I'm saying is this: it's
wars kill people and break things. That's the way. That's the nature of war.
Wars kill people and break things. That's the nature of war.
Drugs do too. 108,000 last year, including plenty.
Wars are easy to start.
I just hope you guys know you're about to give away the whole thing. I just hope everyone at home and everyone watching everywhere, you guys are about to give away the whole thing. The entire thing that you spent all time telling people that it was a big deal, to have due process, to investigate things, to pick your targets, to use American force when American force is necessary, to value human life, to not put people in harm's way. You're about to lose the whole thing. No, and when I say you're about to lose the whole thing, this is what I mean. If you blindly go along with the Church of Trump, whatever he says is appropriate to do, then what you do is you sign up for the church of everyone. Won't just be the church of Trump.
I didn't say that.
It'll be the church of the next guy, and the church of the next guy, and the church of the next person.
I say go to Congress and get permission.
I'm telling you right now, blowing away people
No.
in other countries, in
I
other
don't,
nations.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what it means.
I've been to war twice. I've been to war twice. I'm the son of a veteran who went to war twice. I'm the grandson of a veteran who went to war 3 times.
Where'd you go to war?
And I'm the father of a young Army officer right now.
I appreciate your service. Where'd you go to war?
Iraq and Afghanistan.
You went to Iraq and Afghanistan. Guess what?
But the reality is that
you shouldn't have been there. You shouldn't have been
That's a whole
there.
other conversation.
It's
the
not.
reality
That's
is,
the conversation.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Oh, wait a second. No.
Hang on, I'm not going to let you do that.
The
reality is,
I respect his service.
Those who have been to war don't want it, but we will end it if we have to.
What I'm
That's
telling
where
you
we are.
You shouldn't have been in Iraq, because
that's not what we're talking about.
That is exactly what we're talking about.
Stay focused.
Every single generation, we have the same conversation
We are
because you
talking about right
warmongers
now,
won't learn nothing.
there are people killing Americans,
every single
and you want to
generation,
sit on your heels
we
and
have
do
the
nothing.
exact same conversation.
You would
because
sit back and let somebody
are
invade your own
that
house
see a
and
nail
assault your
every
family.
15 or 20 years.
I just want to agree with Van.
And that absolutely means nothing.
Just 1 second. I just want to give Phil just a moment because we do respect your service.
Well, I appreciate that.
And but I think just to distill the conversation, the point Van is trying to make is that when political leaders make decisions to send men and women to war, people like you go to war, and people like you sometimes don't come home from war. And I do think, even as you are committed to finishing whatever we start, isn't that a fair conversation to have with our political leaders?
Absolutely, and I think we're having it. But the idea that Van was espousing a moment ago that we shouldn't have gone to Iraq, that's nothing what we're talking about. What we're talking about right now is there are people killing Americans, and for us to say, you can invade our house and assault our family and we won't say boo about it, that's wrong. This is not a war we started. This is a war that we're going to finish, though. That's the difference. Peace with strength means...
A last word to Ashley.
I agree. If we're going to go to war, I think Congress should declare, should pass the resolution. But I also want to say is that Trump ran on being the person that was going to end all these wars. And I feel like every month we're talking about striking this country, striking that country. And it just feels like folks want to have it both ways. He's the president that is ending war, that is bringing peace around.
He's also due to get a peace prize.
And then
He ain't getting no peace prize.
Well, and then it's like,
I'll
let's go to
get the
war.
Nobel Peace Prize before. It's not happening.
Well,
Call him, get him on the phone.
That's about the way they handle it.
Get on the phone right now. I'll tell him, Don, you're not getting it.